Hello everyone, Steve with Aptera Owners Club. Okay, so it happened. They released a video about Gamma's interior, and I found it pretty humorous because if you remember, last week on Friday, August 5th, around 1 p.m., they released these pictures of people sitting in the Gamma, and they said, "We look forward to sharing the inside story on Gamma next week. Have a great weekend, everyone." So we're all waiting this whole week. And 7 days and almost to the minute, they released this video. So I see how they're rolling it. They're waiting exactly a week, and they stay true to their word. In exactly a week, they released this video. And the inside story on Gamma next week, I kind of assumed that that meant inside story as in like background story. What they mean is the interior of it. So well played, Aptera. Well played. All right. So anyway, I've watched this video probably 10 times. It's 2 minutes and 1 second long, so it's not a long video. And my initial impression of it is the thing is beautiful. I mean, we've seen the renders of it, and it looks basically like the renders, but there's just something about having a real vehicle that's a physical thing and not a render. And it becomes pretty obvious that they're still working on it. It's not a completed vehicle. And we'll go over it. I wanted to go over it frame by frame with you guys. If you're interested, join in. This probably end up being a pretty long video. I'm gonna ramble a lot probably, so hang in there. Okay, so first shot. This is obviously a kind of nighttime shot of the Gamma vehicle in their new assembly facility. Um, and you can see that this is the completed wheel pants. The it has the inner lining and it looks very much like the render. What I don't see is I don't clearly see the power cables that go into the hub motors. So I'm not sure if they're being routed over the top because in the beta they were routed along the bottom. The top does look a little thicker, but I don't clearly see the power and the cooling cables that would go to the hub motor in here. And then you'll see a better shot of the hinge design. The hinge design is totally different than the Alpha. Okay, see they do a lot of fast shots really fast, quickly. Again, see, I don't see any cables in here. I don't know if you guys see any cables. So I don't think the cables are routed along the lower control arm, or if they are, they're not installed in this vehicle yet. Here's the central headlight, and that is a regulation requirement that autocycles have to have a central headlight. You'll see the same thing on the Electromechanica Solo. It did not have a central headlight until it went into production, and then they had to put a central headlight in, and the Archimoto has a central headlight. Um, I kind of think it would have been nicer to have this headlight all the way across here and have a continuous bar, but I think that's probably more expensive, and that's why they didn't do it. I don't love this design, but it's okay. I don't mind it. And then this is green in all the renders. I suspect there's a green LED in here. Also, I don't see any solar panels on the hood. And in fact, I didn't notice any solar cells. I know some of you guys don't like me calling it solar panels. Solar cells. I didn't see a single solar cell on this entire vehicle. So I don't know if they don't plan on putting solar cells on this vehicle or if it's like a modular thing that can be glued on the body and that's how it's replaceable. You can just kind of peel the whole thing off and put a whole new module on. So I don't know if it's easy to put it on afterward and it's just like a thin film laminate that has the solar cells in there that you can just glue on there after the fact, or they're just not planning on installing it on this vehicle. Not sure. Okay, so here's the new hinge design. It hinges here, and in the Gamma renders, the rear view camera is installed right here, and you don't see a rear view camera here. So it's not installed. And then the rear view mirrors are installed on the door itself. And this is the gas strut that we saw in the pictures, the teaser pictures. Okay, I want to go back that. Okay, this just looks beautiful to me. This is obviously the corner of the tail, and it's some kind of plastic. And it just, I don't know, it looks good. I don't, I worry a little bit about the longevity of this thing. I suspect that it'll be pretty easy to replace. It's a piece of plastic. Um, but you know, plastic left out in the sun kind of gets foggy. But this looks great. And to me, I think it's pretty clear that this is painted, not wrapped. This looks like paint, not wrap. And I don't know if that means that they've changed their mind and decided to go to paint, or that they're just painting the this prototype. But I think this looks gorgeous. This looks great. Here's the little knob that we wondered what it was. Later on in the video, it's pretty clear, I think, that this is a light for the license plate and for the charge port. There's the charge port. Okay, so if it looks like there's a light here. I don't know why they made the light so big and bulbous. Maybe to get the right angle on the thing. But I think this is a light. It lights both the license plate and the charge port. And then I think it was pretty clear they were going to go with the Tesla charge port at this point. And I think this basically confirms it. This is not big enough for a CCS1 port. It's just not. It's about the same size as a Tesla port and maybe a J1772. But if you're going to have DC fast charging, J1772 does not have DC fast charging. They're going to have DC fast charging on this. It's going to be the Tesla port. That's like a near certainty at this point. Also, the Alpha vehicles and the renders had a camera, a rear view camera here. You don't see it here. So I don't see a rear view camera here. So that has not been installed. This is the front windshield and the hood. And someone in Discord thought that this was a really aerodynamic windshield wiper. I don't think that's what it is. Just because they saw the light bleed here, I think that's just the way the light is reflecting. By the way, if you just like discussing these things as soon as they come out, you should really join Discord. There's great discussions, good group of people on there. It's a fun place to hang out. Okay, so I don't think it's a windshield wiper. Yeah, they switch things so fast that you miss them. This, I think, looks gorgeous. This looks great on the wheel pants right here. And you see a little bit of the bumper right here. Not sure, I'm guessing that this is just a cover. This little circle's a cover for like, you snap it off and that's where the screws to keep it in place are. But this looks awesome. Love it. I think this is the front of the rear tail light. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Go Gamma.
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 And then I don't know what this is right here. It looks like there's some kind of post, and there is a little hole that something could stick into. So I'm not sure what that is. But something goes there. Not sure what. Again, here's the gas strut and the hinge, and here's a better view of the upper hinge now.
Gamma.
Gamma. Gamma.
I think it's pretty cool that they basically, I don't know who this gentleman is, but he is definitely a larger gentleman, and they put some larger people in there to make sure that they would fit comfortably behind there.
Gamma.
So you'll see most people are getting in there. So the way I usually get into a vehicle is I put my right leg in first, then I sit down and put my left leg in. That maneuver was a little difficult to do on the Aptera when I went in and sat in the Alpha vehicle. Now, so see, this person is doing it that way. See, he puts his right leg in, then he sits, and then he brings the left leg in. Okay, so that can be done. It felt a little awkward to me when I did it in the alpha. This way felt a lot easier, where you just sit down, butt first, and then swing both legs in one after the other. And that I think is the easier way to do it, because when you try to go in the way that this guy did, yeah, so like when you go in this way, that your head almost hits this door. At least on the Alpha vehicle it did. I don't know if the door configuration on this is slightly different, but I felt like I might hit my head on the door if I went in this way. Whereas if you go in the other way, butt first, your head is not in the way. You sit down basically like this, and your head's not in the way. And this is the way I found it easier to get in on the Alpha. And we'll have to try it out and see if it's different, because the Gamma vehicle is much taller this way. There's a lot more room, so it may have a different steric tolerances for getting in and out. So she went in the other way too. I think she went in foot first and then, yeah. So see, she puts her right leg in first, then sits down, and then swings in. And that's the way I get into my car usually.
Oh, yeah.
What you notice is that the seats are pretty far reclined, and I think they did that on purpose to make it look very roomy. But they are adjustable. I looked through the comments, and these are the 2 comments that I saw that were helpful. And it says right here, "Hi, our seats will be fully adjustable. You can drive in your own very unique style and seating preference."
Wow.
So I don't know what they mean by fully adjustable, but we see that the seat slides forward and backward in this video, so that 100% happens. And the back swinging more upright or more reclined, that almost definitely happens. What we don't know is, does the seat tilt and does it raise up and down? I don't know what they mean by fully adjustable. To me, fully adjustable means tilt and up and down and recline and move forward and backward. But they may just mean moves back forward and backward, and you can recline and make the back more upright or more reclined. The other thing we mentioned here is, look at the way that this middle screen looks. There is definitely a gap between the screen and this bezel around it. Yeah, it's not flush. There's like an air gap between there. Someone in Discord suggested perhaps this is the HVAC vent, and the vent comes in through here. That would be sort of a cool idea, I think. Yeah, that gets rid of having to put a vent here. In terms of air conditioning, it would also cool down the screen. Now, I don't know what the problem would be if you're using it for heating. If you use it for heating and hot air goes through there, is it going to be too hot for the screen? I don't think so, because the heating, the hot air in a car isn't that hot, and this screen gets way hotter than that just sitting out in the sun. And I think these screens can tolerate much higher temperatures than the hot air coming out of a hot air vent in a car would do through resistive heating. So I think that's a great pickup, and I think that person is right. I think that this is the best candidate for HVAC vent on this vehicle that I've seen. I don't see a vent anywhere else on this thing, and they have to have thought of it. It's not like they forgot to put air vents in this thing.
It's roomy in here. There's a lot of space.
In the Gamma renders, it looked like there were little doors to access storage underneath this back deck. It's not in here, so I don't know if it just didn't make it to this design iteration, or they've decided not to put it in there. But there's no door as in the design. And here's that rear side light, and that was that shot. I think that's the same shot as before.
In the back too.
Tons of legroom.
There's a lot.
I mean, there's a gap here, and it clearly tilts, reclines and moves forward. And we know that that's one of the features. You could recline it all the way forward. And my suspicion is if you go back here, my suspicion still is that when you lean this thing forward, the headrest rests onto this thing. But I'm not 100% sure about that.
There's a lot of
Also, see, this is where you would expect the seat belts to come out, but there's no seat belts in this thing yet. I think the seat belts bolt on right here.
leg room, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be ridiculous amounts of leg room, I think. Someone tell me what goes here. I have no idea.
I'm amazed at just how much.
Okay, I want to see that moving forward and backward again. You don't see too much of it, but to me, when I watch the screen, it looks like as you move forward, the seat goes up. Like I think this rail kind of tilts upward at the front, and so as you go forward, it brings the seat up, which makes sense because generally people with shorter legs are going to have shorter torsos as well. I mean, generally people are kind of shorter in all dimensions. So as you move forward, it brings the seat up so that you go higher in the seat so you can look over. So shorter people will get an automatic seat raise as it rails forward, and taller people will get automatically more headroom as it goes backward. So I think that may be the way they're adjusting the seat height. It's kind of it's automatically a function of how far forward or backward you are on the rails.
I'm amazed at just how much legroom there is.
Like it's very spacious in the cabin.
See, again, you see this there's a gap here. There's definitely a gap. It's not just the regular bezel on this screen.
And with the headroom, like you feel like you're secure, but also have room to move around.
I have to say, I love the materials in the seat, this fabric and this pattern and the stitching. It all looks very premium to me. Maybe I have low standards, but it looks great. It looks beautiful. I think the interior materials look amazing, and I really like the design and the stitching and the materials. I like everything about the seats. They look very comfortable to me. Again, I don't see a lot of lumbar support, but maybe it won't be that bad. You can always buy lumbar support.
I like it. I really like it.
I didn't think I was going to fit as comfortably as I am. Like this is,
So the larger gentleman says that he feels very comfortable there. Now, of course, these are all Aptera employees, I'm presuming, and they're gonna say good things about it. At some point, people that are not Aptera employees are gonna get a chance to sit in this thing.
I could totally see myself driving this.
And there's Hello Kitty again. I think Al Rizzi wrote a comment in there saying he's gonna start a business where you can like customize these things and get like mullets and teeth and different things. I think that'd be pretty funny, actually. I'd probably buy it.
Like, yeah, it's super comfortable.
This is usually the way you actually lean your seat when you're waiting in the supermarket for your wife. The seats are super comfortable.
It really does like it has.
Like, look at that. That looks gorgeous. I love that. Looks amazing. Looks great. Can't wait.
Has a sports car feel.
Yeah, the other thing they noticed is that basically this used to be on the body, the male latch, and now it's the female here, and the male latch is on the door. This is green as a logo, but it looks white. I suspect it is a green LED in the back, and when you turn it on, it becomes green. You can also see the bolts for the belly pan. This is the cooling area. And again, hopefully we find out some details. And then you see here the more sloped angle of the rear wheel pants. That's the more aerodynamically optimized design.
Like sitting in here I don't feel like I'm sitting in a sedan.
This just looks so good. Looks great.
Yoke is not what I expected. I don't know, it feels really.
Again, I think that this is some kind of texturized rubber or pleather. pineapple leather. Possibly. I don't think it's fabric. If it is fabric, that'd be a horrible idea.
Nice, and
It's interesting, like my mountain bike grip.
Okay, so he says it feels like his mountain bike grip, which makes me think it's some kind of texturized rubber.
The yoke's pretty cool. It's got this. It's got these little.
Now, after seeing the way that this gentleman is holding the yoke, I'm kind of a fan of it. When they first announced the yoke, I was pretty ambivalent. But I think this is not going to be as bad as people think. Like their thumbs will rest there on the ears of the Hello Kitty very nicely. And then you can kind of tilt your hands down and access those little wheels that are the eyes. I honestly don't think it's going to be that bad. I've never driven a car with a yoke, but I usually put my hands in that position on a wheel. I don't grab the top of the wheel, if ever, and it's never been an issue for me. So I think for me, I don't think it's going to take me very long to get used to it. And this position where you put your thumbs on the wheel, on the ears rather, seems very comfortable.
It's got these little cushions for your thumbs. So it's very ergonomic.
and I think it's a lot more intuitive and natural feeling than I expected. And with the eye line of the display, I think the design and the shape makes a lot of sense. And
I can really see my.
I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Is this the windshield? And this is the inner headlining? I don't think so. Or am I looking at the side of the door that's open? This is clearly some kind of fabric interior, and this is the exterior of the car someplace. But I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Someone clue me in the comments, please.
Myself in it.
I love the white and black, and it looks really sleek in here.
This headrest goes up and down. I'm pretty sure, because in one of the previous shots, you can see that the position of the headrests are a little different between the passenger and the driver's side. So the headrest is adjustable. Yeah, I really like the design of the seats.
The door panels and everything.
This part I like the best. This is my favorite part. The texture on the seat.
Just all of it. It's super sleek, kind of ultra luxe. I like it.
This isn't your mom's.
Here you can definitely see kind of the pregnant orca look. It's gotten much larger here, and you see the access panels for the belly pan here. Again, I do not see power cables on the lower control arms on either side. You see the bumpers on the wheel pants as designed. No rear wheel, and then confirmed, as many of us suspected, that is the brake light on the thing. And yeah, this corner with the clear plastic, it looks so cool.
Electric vehicle.
So they are gonna be at fully charged 2022. And now I think with where this car is, you see that it's missing a lot of things. They're not done building it out. And someone asked about it, and you can see they are gonna put sun visors, they are gonna put rear view mirrors and seat belts in this thing. So they're not done building it. And so I think they're gonna barely be ready to show this thing in a month at fully charged. So I don't expect a fully realized Gamma vehicle until this fully charged show on September 10 and 11 at the earliest. They may not be fully done at that point either. So I've got my ticket to fully charged. I will be there on Sunday the 11th. So if you guys are there, love to meet you guys. The last thing before this video wraps up is I wanted to see how people get out of this thing. And what's very noticeable is this opening right here is a little tight, and you'll see some people snag their feet on it. So it's something that people are gonna have to get used to. I don't think it's a big deal. People will get used to it fairly quickly. I didn't have much of an issue with it on the Alpha vehicle, but just take a look. Yeah, so it's a little tight there. Yep. So everyone's kind of clipping their feet there. And I don't think it's a problem because I didn't have any problems with the Alpha vehicle, which is even a smaller inlet. But it's something to consider. It is basically a sports car in its configuration, and so the ergonomics of getting in and out aren't going to be like getting in and out of an SUV. Oh, that looks great. I think it would look better if this was all the way across here. Yeah, it would look super cool if it was these bulbs all the way across. I think it'd be awesome. But this looks great. Anyway, very excited. I think it looks amazing, and I can't wait to check it out in person in about a month. Um, I think what's going to happen is we're going to get very, very slow releases of little bits of information, maybe on a weekly basis until the fully charged show, or maybe even less frequently than that. So I wouldn't expect a lot coming out of Aptera in the next couple weeks. I think they're going to be busy trying to get this thing ready for that show. And then at that show, we're going to get like a deluge of information because every single press outlet is going to have articles and videos and stuff about it. And they're all going to basically give their take on the same thing because we're all going to be looking at the same thing. And a lot of you guys are going to be there and see it in person. So that'll be great. I'll be there as well on Sunday. So anyways, I was super excited. Watched this video like 10 times. Looks beautiful. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Tell me what those things that I wasn't sure about were. If you have any clue, come join us on Discord if you enjoy discussions. And thanks for watching. Thanks as always to our supporting members. And have a great weekend, everyone.